But my own personal experience was that through cancer, I discovered a much deeper and more emotional side to life.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Mano Beyond Cancer. This is a space dedicated to all cancer survivors from around the world. In here, we share our experiences and we learn about this journey called life. Today, we are with Katherine Saville from Scotland, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her. Hi, Katherine. So, the first question, who are you? What are you passionate about right now? And what is your favorite food?
So I am Catherine, otherwise known as Kat or Kay. I am 48. I'm Scottish. I am a mum. I have two beautiful children. And I'm a huge animal lover. I have two dogs and two cats. Professionally, I'm a lawyer, and I'm also a breast cancer patient and survivor because I was diagnosed with breast cancer for the second time in December of last year. And that means that in the last 3 years, I've spent more time having breast cancer than without it. This time I was diagnosed as stage 4, which was a real blow, actually. But the thing that I am passionate about is actually bringing some light to the shadow that is cancer. And so during my cancer journey, it's a little trite, but that's what it is. I have established a cancer community and a charity called Cancer Support Netherlands. This is us. Yeah, I've brought together a community of 80 people who have been diagnosed with cancer and are living in the Netherlands. And our mission is to create connection at the heart of every cancer journey, because having cancer is a super isolating and lonely place to be. And to do that in a foreign country is double isolating. My favorite food? Well, this is hard for me because I'm going to have to now admit that the things I love the most are not the healthiest. So I'm a little bit torn between pizza and chocolate. If I could have them both, I would be very grateful.
How was to have cancer in the Netherlands coming from another country?
Well, I don't think anyone forgets the moment that they're diagnosed with cancer when your life is, I don't know, it's like a vacuum or something. Everything is sucked out and you're just left standing alone in a space you've never been before. First of all, it's just super scary, and that's just so much more scary to do it in a place that you're not from and with people speaking actually a language that is not your own. I was really lucky. My nurses and doctors did speak English to me, but I have people in my community who actually their partner who they were with had to tell them their diagnosis because the care providers only spoke Dutch and they themselves didn't speak Dutch. So, it's lonely. It's harder because you're not in a country that you're from where you really understand the language. It's also harder because you don't necessarily understand the medical system. And, a lot of people are super healthy before they get cancer and they've not really been part of the medical system. And suddenly you're having to deal with all these complexities in a language that isn't your own, in a country that isn't your own, under a health insurance system that is also not your own. And there's a lot of bureaucracy. It's challenging. And I also felt very isolated because I didn't have my family nearby. And of course, I have amazing friends and I'm so lucky to have that network. But yeah, I really miss that community close to me and that feeling of connection. So it was tough. It was tough, I think is the best way to explain it.
Did cancer bring you a superpower or a side effect that actually you liked?
I love this question. This is such a great question. Yes, absolutely. I think you have to be careful when you answer this because, of course, cancer can be so negative for so many people, and I definitely don't want to take away from the negative elements of it. But my own personal experience was that through cancer, I discovered a much deeper and more emotional side to life. And I really discovered the value of connection. I think that before I had cancer, I was pretty wrapped up in just work and my kids and busy, 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 and everything in the future and planning. And when you have cancer, you're really forced to stand in the moment. Cancer treatment also keeps you in the present because that is a place of safety. The future feels uncertain. In the past, you have so much sadness to have lost. Now, the superpower that I have is the joy in the small things.
Do you know many people with a live cancer experience, and how can you describe them in one word?
Yes, I do know quite a few people with a lived cancer experience, which is actually a privilege because that community it's actually inspirational. So you asked me what is the word? It's inspirational.
And what is the stupidest thing or dumbest thing someone have ever told you about having cancer?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so my personal bugbear, I hope that translates for everyone, but that's like the thing that really annoys you is when people say, "Oh, but you're so strong. You'll get through this." You just think, come on. I mean, of course I'm strong, but yeah, strength isn't going to get me through that one. So yeah, that's my one.
What changes would you like to see in your community that is going to support better the people with a live cancer experience?
I think as a patient, as a survivor, there's a couple of things that are at the top of my mind. This is my own experience. I think that receiving treatment information in a language I can understand would be, I kind of feel it's a human right, actually. I shouldn't have to ask Google to scan what side effects of my chemo will be because I'm receiving it in Dutch. So, from an advocacy perspective, this is something I feel super passionate about. And I hope that Cancer Support Netherlands can work towards actually providing treatment information in the top 6 spoken languages in the Netherlands, not just English, right? I mean, we have people here from many different backgrounds who are struggling with this problem. And then, I think the other thing that's really important is recovery and rediscovery of who you are as an individual after you've been through cancer treatment. And I think that the badge of cancer, you and I have talked about the right to be forgotten. That's one element of this. Cancer can have such a massive impact on your life. Can't get insurance anymore. Wow. Can't get a job anymore. That's not ideal. I think that allowing people to be seen as the person that they were, still with their skills and their real strengths, e.g., intellectual capacity, emotional understanding, creativity, whatever your thing is, and to be accepted into society as someone who's fully functioning, but just in a different way. That's change. That for me is change and something that would give people a better lived experience of cancer.
And the last one is there is a personality trait or a quality that you were like this before cancer and you're still like this after cancer?
I think I've always been a bit of a connector, and I actually think that cancer reminded me of that. And through Cancer Support Netherlands, this community where connection is at the heart of everything we do, I remembered, yeah, I love to connect people, and connection is so important to us. So, yes, connection.
Thank you very much, Katherine.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I've loved chatting to you.
Do you like this video? Well, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with others. Thank you. Bye-bye.